South Carolina Clemson was awesome. 17-14, South Carolina comes out on top. 4.5 Chalai on the 1 to 5 scale. You could even argue for 5. This was extremely entertaining. And all I can say is thank you, Spencer Rattler. That's all I kept thinking. Spencer Rattler was such a key in this game, and he didn't even play in the game. He's in the NFL. But Spencer Rattler was there at the right time in Columbia, and they recruited Lenore Sellers, and they brought him in, and they didn't have to start him right away because Spencer Rattler was there, and so Lenore Sellers could afford to sit and develop. And now it's his time. You remember when they brought him in, he was a 3-star recruit. They brought him in, and we started immediately getting feedback that, they think they really hit on this Lenore Sellers kid. Now, he's not going to play this year, but down the road, watch out. Yeah, we're watching, and we're seeing one of the most impressive performances I ever remember seeing. If you consider the magnitude of the moment yesterday, Sellers just goes off. One of the most impressive performances that I've seen in a long time. So you may look at the box score and you may say, what are you talking about, Josh? He was 13 of 21, 164 yards, didn't even throw a touchdown pass, 1 interception. Well, I would like you to pay attention to the rushing yards on the bottom of the screen there. He had 166 of them, 2 rushing touchdowns. I want to take you to late in this game. He made several chunk play, drive saver, game changer altering runs, but they're down 14-10 late in this game. There's a minute and change to go, and they don't need a field goal. They got to have a touchdown. It's 3rd and 16. Jesse, do we even have that play? This right here is insanity. This is an alien. This is not on a grease board. This is a guy taking a team on his back saying, nope, you got to have a will to win. I will not lose. I will not be denied. You got to understand what this game means. In college football, it's built on rivalries. You do not grow up being preached to about the college football playoff. If you grew up in Florence, South Carolina, like he did, Lenore Sellers, you get preached to about Clemson and about South Carolina. You're going to choose a side. He did. He wasn't even recruited heavily by the other side. You look at his offer sheet, and it's South Carolina, and it's a bunch of G5 schools. And he goes there, and he immediately pops. They immediately know, man, we got one here. And he waits his turn, and he starts. Think about what's on the line there. It's the Clemson game. It's a rivalry game. For all you know, your playoff berth may be on the line as well, but forget all that stuff. It's the South Carolina-Clemson game. It's all on the line. You gotta let it all hang out right there, 3rd and 16, and you score. I don't know how you watch it and don't get emotional. That's as intense and as big a moment as you may ever be in your entire life. He may go on to play on Sunday. He may be going to play on Sundays for 20 years, for all I know. That moment may be the biggest of his career. And, the emotion that poured out was unbelievable. And so they end up winning the game. That's the game winner. That seals the deal. 3-star quarterback from Florence, South Carolina, making that play in that moment on the road in Death Valley. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You got to credit Clemson too, man. Just a dogfight of a game. Awesome game to watch. Clemson leads with a minute to go. There were turnovers both ways. I don't know how else to put this other than one side had Lenore Sellers. One of these quarterbacks was a former 5-star. Which one would you say it was? And that's not a knock on Cade Klubnik necessarily. That's just South Carolina's got something special in Lenore Sellers. Clemson had 7 drives of 5 plays or less in this game. They couldn't sustain. So that's credit to South Carolina's defense. They have shown up all year. They made Clemson far too reliant on explosive plays. But you know what? This game ends the way it does. And then you look, and a few hours later, you've still got the tear streaks running down the eye black, and someone knocks on the door and says, Mr. Swinney, yeah, you're in the ACC championship game. Impossible. We just lost. Not a conference game, you didn't. Huh? Yeah, Miami just blew a 3-score lead against Syracuse. You're going to Charlotte. Bye. Oh, cool. Clemson could still be in the playoff. Clemson could still win the ACC championship. So they got plenty to play for there. They may be playing for an 11 seed or a 12 seed. It could be weird how that shakes out depending on if they win or if SMU wins. But what a game. What an afternoon for South Carolina. And as it turns out, what an evening for Clemson. If you haven't watched that game, guys, you got to go watch it. Just to watch the condensed version. I know Ohio State, Michigan was on. Say the winner's name first. I know Michigan, Ohio State was on. You got to go check that out. You got to go look at Sellers. Some of the plays he made. It's so funny. Shane Beamer looks like a genius, and the offensive staff looks like a genius, and they're sitting over there saying, "Wow, that's not how we designed that play." But he is who he is. Sometimes you've just got players who play well beyond the design, and you're lucky they do. It makes you look so good. Many a Broyles Award, many a Home Depot Coach of the Year award has been won because guys went off script and made you look like a genius. The genius was you went and recruited them, and then you get out of the way when it's time to get out of the way. Unbelievable.